Hello, friends. Hi, everybody. Welcome, and welcome to our very special author, Benilda Salvador. Hi, Benilda. How are you?
Hi, Miriam. I'm so excited. I'm so pumped. This is it.
Oh, this is it. This is your book launch day. I know you're excited. I'm excited also. First of all, let's show everybody your book and please tell them the title.
The title of my book is Malaya the Mermaid and Her Peanut Butter and Jelly Sandwiches. Yeah.
Oh, I'm already hooked. I want to know what's happening with this sandwich. So, Benilda, please share what inspired you to write this book.
My husband Efren has been my number one supporter, and he's been asking me so many years, when are you going to write that book? And, he knows I had that desire to write this book, but I really didn't know what to write about. And then last year, I became a grandmother and I became a Lola. That's the term we use in our language, Lola. So when I became a Lola, it inspired and ignited in me a desire to leave a legacy for my granddaughter. I don't know how long I'll be living in this world, but I'd like her to be able to hold a book and remind her of how she can be the best version of herself. And not just her, but even the little kids that get to read my book. So I hope, that's my desire to leave a legacy for my granddaughter and the little children that get to read my book. They become the best version of themselves.
Yes, yes. Oh, that's a beautiful share. Thank you for sharing that. And now I know a new way to say grandma. It's Lola, right?
Lola.
Lola in Filipino.
In the Philippines, yeah, it's Filipino or sometimes they say Tagalog. Lola is the
Oh,
term. Yeah.
okay, very good. That's so good. I'm sure that she's young and she will love the book when she gets a little bit older.
Yeah.
Um, I
She's
mean,
only she's only 9, 10 months, so it'll
she's
be a
only
long
10
time.
months.
Yeah, a
Okay.
long
You know
time.
what? I don't think too long because my grandbaby is a year and a half and I was showing her your book. I sat down and she kept
Okay.
leafing through it because the illustrations are beautiful also.
Well,
But
actually,
first,
I actually tried showing it to her and she was like grabbing my book too. So it's a good
yes,
sign.
yeah, give it a couple more months for sure. So tell us what the book is about and who would you say it's for?
Yeah, my book I think is primarily for kids ages 4 to 8, but I think, if a younger and older kid would love to read it, I don't mind at all. And this book is actually a heartwarming story that was beautifully illustrated by my illustrator. Her name is Anuki Lopez from Seville, Spain, and I was just so happy that I chose her because she really brought my story to life. This book is a story about Malaya the mermaid who loves peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. But that's not a normal snack under the sea. But she loved to share it with the merfolk, but they just didn't understand. They were teasing her, they were saying, "You're weird." And sometimes they would even hid the sandwich from her. So one day, she really felt so lonely and she was so sad. And there comes this mermaid named Lael. And she was that kind person who said, "I want to try it." Because, you never really know what you don't try. So she said she'd like to try it, and she loved it. And from then on, she became the catalyst by which all the other merfolk were able to taste and love the sandwich. And they all declared it was the yummiest snack in the whole world. And then what happened was the entrepreneurial spirit of Malaya came about because she decided to open up her own sandwich shop. And of course, peanut butter and jelly sandwich was the best seller. And so they lived happily ever after, eating seaweed, fish, and algae. But of course, included is peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. You know,
Oh,
Miriam, this story comes from a personal space because my daughter was bullied when she was young. And so I feel like, at the time, it was in person, the bullying. But even now, can you imagine? It's cyberbullying. They can gang up on you and bash you, in an instant and all over the world at the same time. So I feel
mhm.
that as parents, we should become even more intentional in encouraging our kids to be kinder in the world that's getting to be angrier and divisive. So I hope that my book will be the catalyst, that they'll know the power of empathy, the joy of being kind, and just the power of being, like the uniqueness that you have, that, there's strength in that. And I hope that even if just one child will feel seen and loved and confident, I think I have done, my book has done its work. So that's
Hmm.
that's one thing that I would like this book to accomplish.
Thank you, Benilda. Thank you for sharing that. You're such a beautiful person. And I mean, when I read the story, that's what I get out of the book. So I think that your book will impact not just one, but many, many children. It's a beautiful story. And I think you're right. We have to teach our children kindness. We have to teach them um, empathy and also to accept other people and how, I can think myself, right? Sometimes we take food to school that is not it's not what everybody else is eating, but
Yes,
hey, we can learn something from somebody else's culture and
that's
we
what
can
my
learn
daughter
something.
experienced.
Exactly, exactly. Um, yes, I was going to ask you a little bit more about that. What is it that you hope that parents and kids will take away from this book? Is there anything else you want to add?
Well, just really to be intentional in teaching their
Yeah.
kids and showing by example that, you can be the light of the world. I'm just saying that I can't change the whole world. My every child cannot change the whole world, but in that little corner, that space where God put you in, we can change our world. And they say that the tiny ripples of hope can become a strong current that can change the atmosphere.
Yes.
So I believe that even just one kind person, one step at a time, you never know what that can lead to. So I just feel
Yes.
we need to be intentional in this world that's becoming angrier and more divisive. You know.
Yeah, I agree. I couldn't agree more. Benilda, I always think we can change the world with quality children's books, right? If
Yeah.
your book can impact somebody's life to be kinder, to be nicer, or to stand up to somebody that's being bullied, then
Yeah.
that is providing that ripple and that's changing the world. Show everybody your shirt and turn around because that's where I got that word. Yeah.
Yes, Malaya the Mermaid, her peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And then when I turn around, people can see you need to be kind.
Big. I love that. I
I'm gonna
love
be,
how
I'm sorry, I'm gonna be wearing this shirt during my story time with the
you.
children.
So exciting. I love how you have really embraced this underworld, undersea world. I
Yeah.
mean, everything behind you looks beautiful. The book looks beautiful. Your illustrator did a beautiful job also. Um, and Benilda, I want to talk a little bit about your journey into becoming a children's book author. You mentioned that your husband has supported you, and this has been a long dream for you. How long have you been wanting to be an author for?
Yeah, well, I worked in the United Nations for 32 years. I'm retired now, but I feel I'm refired and recharged to write for the next generation. I just feel like, this is just a time for me, and I'm just so happy that I came to this place right now where I'm ready to be a vessel by which children can be a blessing to others,
That's
if
great.
yeah. So I'm just so
So
happy.
it's been a long dream then.
Yeah, it's been a long dream. And I'm always reminded, God created us on purpose and for a purpose. Dreams don't expire. Purpose doesn't have an expiration date. So I'm 65 and here I am, a published
Oh,
author. I'm so glad and I'm so happy that the Lord still used me as his vessel. And
mm,
I'm so grateful.
oh,
Your team, you and your team are the best. If not for you guys, I don't know how I could have done this. So thank you to each
oh.
and everyone in your team.
Like you said, we're all put here for a reason, for a purpose. So we're all doing our part.
Mhm.
Vanilda, please share a little bit about your journey to become an author. What would you say was your biggest challenge when writing this book?
For me, the biggest challenge was because in December, I was trying to seal, that I wanted to finish the contract with my illustrator. I was trying to find who was the best illustrator. And finally, I was able to pin it down to Anuki Lopez. But at the same time, we were preparing for our trip to the Philippines, and it was going to be 5 weeks are going to be away. We would be celebrating some gatherings and birthdays in the Philippines. We'll be traveling. So I was like really pressed for time. I wanted to make sure, oops, that this contract is signed. And then at the same time, while on a trip, I was like, oh my gosh, how can the time difference, because I was in Asia, like this would be like, so in Spain, it will be in another time zone. I'll be in another time zone. And then how reliable would be the Wi-Fi and internet. So there were times I couldn't respond to her quickly. And in the end, also, I got sick when I came back. So I was recovering. I was recovering from my cough and cold, recovering from my jet lag. But because I was able to really do things very much in advance, even though we had to reschedule, reset the deadlines, in the end, it still worked out, but it was still kind of stressful trying to juggle,
Hmm.
make sure that communication was intact, even though I'm in another part of the world. But
Hmm.
thanks to your team again, here I am now. I
Oh,
did it.
and well, thank you for sharing that. I think there's lessons in all of that, right? It's patience, it's working ahead also, like you said, and it always works out. It always works out. So thank you for sharing that. What would you say now was the biggest lesson that you learned during the publishing process?
I think one of the biggest lessons is one should be open-minded, one should
Mhm.
be willing to learn, and not just because you think you're a writer, that you're the best writer, that you can do it. Because we're dealing with a different world. Children are imaginative, creative, they have a short attention span. So I feel like you have to shape your story, even though you're trying to like there's a lesson behind your book, you cannot just ram it down their throat. You have to shape it in a way that it's engaging and fun. So that was the biggest lesson that I learned. And I also learned that the publishing process, it takes a village to write a book. You can't do it alone because there's so much there to learn, from the time I sent my manuscript to the editing to having this contract with my illustrator to the book design to where I am right now. It takes a village, it takes a community, and I thank you again. I have to say thank you again, even to my
Mm,
fellow authors. They were, we had the one-on-one with my coach list, and then we have the group coaching as well, the group meetings. Each step was necessary and was so helpful in my journey
mm.
as an author. So thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you, Benilda. So here you are now, a published children's book author.
Mhm.
What is the best part of accomplishing this long dream, lifelong dream for you?
I think the fact on a personal level to be able to, as I said, to be able to accomplish this at such a late age, I feel like at 65, I'm retired, but I'm refired and I'm recharged to write for the next generation. There's still purpose in everything. When I wake up in the morning, there's something to look forward to. And it's also so uplifting to be able to be a vessel by which children, can be better versions of themselves as a result of the book that you wrote. So I'm just I'm just humbled. I'm not bragging about it, but I'm just humbled for the opportunity that was given to me, to write
Mhm.
this book. So
Mm.
thank you so much.
Well, what a beautiful book. Friends, the book is available today on Amazon, so make sure to go there, grab a copy, grab several copies of this book, and share it with the children in your life. Malaya the Mermaid and her peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. You're going to love it. So it's there in three formats. The soft cover I have, it's also there in a hardcover version
Yes.
and then in an ebook version. So friends, go to Amazon and grab this book today. So Benilda, we have a lot of aspiring children's book authors who watch our interviews.
Mm.
What piece of advice do you have for them? Now you're on the other side, a published children's book author. Is there anything you want to share with them?
I think it's very important to know your why. Because if you know your why, your what will be very impactful. I think there were days when I would sometimes doubt myself, am I really going to do this or that? But you know what? I had that vision board. That vision board was on my mirror. And every time I'd look at that mirror and see that vision board, and that's where it's written that I'm going to be, a best-selling author, I'll be impact children's lives. And so every time I would, doubt myself, when I wake up in the morning and I see that, I know that there's a why behind my what, and it's so crucial that we always return to that why, so that we'll be pushed forward to do what we're called to do. And also, I believe that we don't have to be put together to start. You just need to start. A journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step, and we don't have to be great to start, but we need to start in order to be great. So as Nike said, just do it. So I encourage my fellow author, just do it. If God puts in your heart this desire to write this book, go for it, and he will guide you every step of the way. And God allowed me to meet you. I saw you on Facebook or Instagram. I'm not sure. So when I attended your free training, that's where it sealed, my desire. I will do it. And I know, I believe these people will be able to hold me, and you held my hand every step of the way. So
Mm.
just happy.
Well, thank you for that advice. You are wise and you're very inspiring. I hope our friends watching who may be feeling a little stuck really got a lot of the things from the things that you shared, right? We just have to do it. We have to put ourselves out there. We have to take that first step. We don't
Mhm.
have to be perfect. We just have to get started. Friends, I hope you're hearing that because it's so powerful and so important to know. So, Benilda, would you share where can our viewers find you?
I have, of course, in Amazon, and also my website, which was beautifully designed by my granddaughter, oh, by my daughter, I'm sorry. And the name of the website is Benilda Salvador author.com. Also, I'm also on Facebook. It's Benilda Salvador dash author. And on Instagram, it's Benilda Salvador underscore author. That's where you can find
Excellent.
me. And go to
Excellent.
my
My
story
team.
times. Go to my
And
events.
yes, so tell us a little bit about the events.
Yeah,
Do you have some?
I have some I have one scheduled in the library nearby here in Parsippany on August 9, and then I have one here right here in our development on September 20, and I've also something in the works. I'm still, with Barnes and Noble, I'm still working out there are some requirements. And so in the long run, I'm still going to approach some schools and some churches. So I'm ready to bring Malaya into the world, show her and
Excellent.
just how many children. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. I can only imagine that you'll just be amazing when you do your school visits and when you people go and meet you for story time. I mean, having the background already and the shirt, I feel like you're so invested. Kids are going to have so much fun with you. Friends, remember, go to Amazon and grab a copy of this book and share it with the children in your life. And Benilda, before we go, is there anything else you wish I would have shared or I would have asked you or anything you'd like to share?
Before anything else, I want to thank God for opening this door for me. It's not by accident that I came across your post, on Instagram or on Facebook. I'm just so happy that He ordered my step, because He was the fuel and you guys were the accelerator, and I was able to push that pedal to run with my dream, and now it's a reality. So first and foremost, I thank Him for everything, that for empowering me as well. And then I would like to thank, of course, my husband, my dear husband. He's been my number one supporter. He's been responsible for setting this up. This his creativity is awesome. My son was responsible for taking my picture that I used in my book, and all the lights here that I'm using. He also would guide me with my Instagram, the tips, that I needed to do. And my daughter for doing this wonderful website for me. My son-in-law for being the best father that Malaya, my granddaughter, can have. And of course, my granddaughter, Malaya. Oh my goodness. They say, grandparents have the constitutional right to spoil their kids. And my husband and I, we are making sure that we exercise that right. So I'm just so happy that I'll be able to leave behind this book for her and all the little children that get to read my book. And also, I have something for you, Miriam. During my story time, I have a song that I would teach the little kids, and I want you to join with me. You're familiar with this song. It goes this way. If you stand up and be kind, shout hooray. If you stand up to be kind, shout hooray. For a
Right.
kind and better world, let's show love to everyone. If you stand up to be kind, shout hooray. So
Hooray! Hooray! Oh, yes, story time is going to be fun with you.
we will have bubbles and a lot of, knickknacks and things to distribute to the little kids to really, make their time worth it for coming.
Oh, so much fun, so much fun. Friends, make sure to go follow Benilda's social media accounts so you know where she's going to be at with her bubbles and her singing, and of course, sharing her beautiful book with the children there. And then, of course, go to Amazon and grab a copy or a couple of copies of this beautiful book.
Miriam, I forgot also to say that I'm in the works also. I'm having my book translated into Spanish. So my book
Ooh.
will be available in Spanish. First, it's going to be in English, and then we're on our
And
way,
then it's
yeah, making it available also, because I want to honor the Hispanic side of my son-in-law. So I'm I'm just really happy that my book will also be available in Spanish. I want
Muy bien.
muy bien, and I want to make sure that I get mad, which is MAD, make a difference, and I'm going to be great, which means get really excited about today, because today is
Oh.
Mother's Day.
Oh, so good, Benilda. You're so much fun. Well, we look forward to seeing the Spanish version of this beautiful book also. Thank you, Benilda, for writing such a beautiful book and for wanting to change children's lives through this book.
Thank you.
Remember her message today, be kind, friends. Thank you, Benilda, and thank you all for coming.